Hey yo, Stoic here. Hey, welcome to the Bedrock Guide. In this tutorial, we're going to be making an iron farm in the middle of a village. All right, before we get started on this tutorial, I just want to say thank you for joining. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll consider it. It really keeps me motivated when I get new subscribers and helps the channel out as well. But anyways, you are here for the iron farm tutorial, not to hear me beg for subscribers. So you've heard other content creators say, don't build your iron farm within 100, 150 blocks of any village. And they're justified to say so because those beds and workstations over there could lure your villagers into attaching to them. And that way it will screw up your iron farm way over here. Fortunately, that one's far enough away. But anyways, that is part of the iron farm. And if we can control the beds and the workstations, then we can control where we put our iron farm. And we want to put it in a village. So when you arrive at a brand new village, you're going to find that there is already an iron golem there. And that's from the beginning of the spawn of the game. Once you kill that, then a new golem will not spawn unless the following criteria is met. You need to have 20 beds. You need to have a minimum of 10 villagers in that village. Of those 10 villagers, 75% of them need to have worked at a workstation during the day. And then once that happens, you can have an iron golem spawn within the center of the village. And I've got kind of the outline here showing where the center of the village could be. The center of a village is actually the pillow of a bed. And you say, well, there's going to be 20 beds. Which one is it? Well, that's what we're talking about. So this bed is part of the leader of the village. And the leader of the village can be found by using the bell in your village. You're probably wondering why that thing was there other than making a lot of noise. But that can help you find the village leader. And that village leader will sleep in the center of the bed, center of the village. So that villager, though, could change. That villager could change when you log out, log back in. That's annoying. The leader could change because you left the area and you came back. It could change because the game updated, which happens a lot. So what this build will show you is how to avoid getting iron golems outside of your farm because the center of the village moved. So we're going to eliminate that with our build, and I'm going to show you how to do that. As you can see here that ultimately the iron golem can spawn 8 blocks in any direction, but when you go into the Y direction, it can go in 6 blocks in those directions. And it will spawn on the highest valid spawn point, which in a solid block is a valid spot. Half slabs, glass, those grass, those things, grass, that's valid. Leaves are not. And so we want to make sure that we've got valid spawning points up high so that they're not spawning down below where we've got kind of our future villager trading hall. So yeah, that's how we're going to do it. And because of the spawn mechanics, these iron golems like to spawn on the northwest corner of a block. You can see we have 4 blocks here. Of these 4 blocks, this is the southeast one because that's north. That's the northwest corner of that block. So it'll spawn right here in the middle of them. So if we can eliminate that spawn point on the north and west side of our farm, then we don't have to worry about them being outside of our farm. And we're just going to take care of that with just a couple blocks. It's that simple. Anyways, let's get started. We're going to find 2 villages. Yep, 2 of them because we're going to loot one and then we're going to build one at the other one. Yep, we want as many resources as we can because you can use this farm right at the very beginning. It's the first thing you can build in your new world. Or if you just want a remote location for your iron farm because you've got other things happening other places. Or if you don't want to have villagers being transported, which, oh, that is a pain, you can just build it right in a village of your choice. So let's get moving. All right, like I mentioned, we're going to be looking for 2 villages. I can see a big one over there, and I can see kind of a small one over here, and you can make your way over there. When you're traveling around, make sure you're killing as many sheep as you can because you want that food. And you also want that wool that they drop because there's a good chance we're not going to have enough beds to make our requirements. So we're going to need all the wool we can get. Also, keep your eyes open for any lava that you can find because that's one of the first things we're going to get when we're traveling around. So let's grab the lava once we have a bucket. And to get a bucket, especially when you're in the beginning of the game, you're going to come over to your village over here. You're going to find the iron golem. You're going to block up 4 times right next to it. And then you're just going to hit it. Maybe you got a sword. It's going to take a while. You're going to take it out. I'm in creative. This thing doesn't care about me. But it's going to give you 3 to 5 iron when you kill it. So you're going to have enough for a bucket. If you get more, if you get 5, 5's the ideal, right? You can use that to get your shears as well. The other thing we're going to want to do is we're going to run around and pick up all the food before the villagers do. Sometimes those villagers like to take all the food and then we don't get any. So we were going to use that because we're going to feed our villagers later to help breed them up to get the number of villagers we want. We're also going to run into some of these houses and we're going to take the beds. We're going to take the grindstones, all the workstations. We want it all because we're not going to want to build them later. We're just going to want to take them. And also loot all of the cauldrons, take any of the goodies, all the food, take it. So beds, workstations, food. Don't forget these composters and take care of that iron golem. All right, so you've totally ransacked the place. We're out of here. We're leaving. We don't want anything else to do with this place. We're going to run. And remember, we made that bucket from our iron golem because we got rid of them. And we remembered that our lava was right over here. We can just grab it. And I'm in creative. It doesn't show that. Where is it? Got our lava bucket right here. And we're going to travel in the X direction. So if you've already found one of your villages, usually, in most cases for Minecraft, as long as you're traveling in the X direction, you can see I'm going in negative X, you'll find another village. You might have to look maybe up on the mountain or maybe over there a little bit, but you'll still find them and you'll be able to do the next step. And this is a nice big village. Look at that. We got houses everywhere. We got beds. There's 4 beds in this one. That's crazy. Again, once you get here, these villagers are going to start working. So grab the food. We're going to loot as much as we can. You can see already that these villagers want this food. We want it first because we're going to need it later on. I don't want to wait for it to grow. We're going to take all the food and then we're going to kind of scout the area real quick. That looks like a nice flat area. More houses over here. We're going to build our iron farm right here. We're going to take out some of the dirt and make it work. But you probably already stopped somewhere at another village. You can already drop some beds in, clear your inventory a little bit. This way, your villagers stay over here, especially when you start going from door to door and you start breaking all these beds. They'll relink to another one closer to where you want them to build or where you want them to live. Find your sheeps, take care of them. If you've got trading halls, little trading shacks, this is wool. Take it. There's another bed. So again, we're going to take all the beds and we're going to try to just put them up here for right now. And then we're going to take all the workstations we can find and we're going to put them up here as well. That way they start moving towards our farm. I don't want to wait 20 minutes for a new villager to grow. So we're going to try to keep them all together. All right, 2 things happened. We got our beds up here. I went ahead and destroyed all the beds everywhere else. Right now, I'm just going to drop in some workstations that I would have collected from all these places. I want to draw all of the villagers up here. In fact, if you've got these nitwits, you're going to want to get rid of them. So take care of those guys. The other thing I did was I kind of cleared out an area here, and we're going to reposition these as we go. Because it's almost nighttime, we're going to go ahead and sleep. That way we keep all of the nasties away. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll wake up in the morning. All right, we're corralling all of our villagers. We want to keep them nearby, keep them working. Some of them may have moved around a little bit. You can see this one over here. Might have to track them back in. Just keep the chunk loaded a little bit while they're making their way back in. So we've got kind of a flat area, cleaned it up a little bit. We're just going to pick a spot where it's going to be the middle. We're going to find which way is north, and the sun is rising from over there. So north is that direction. So we're going to go out 9 blocks in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we might have to clear this out a little bit. Give a little bit of room on the outside. And you can see that I'll just put in some blocks here just so you can see that we've got 9. in this spot. And then we're going to do the same thing on the west side as well. So rising in the east. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got some kids here. So we're going to go ahead and fill those in as well, just to make sure we can see this visually. And then from the east side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go 8 blocks that way. You can see 1, 3, 5, 7, and then we can get our other blocks in there. It's kind of messy with these these villagers in the way, but you can see that we're looking at a nice pattern going on here. And the last one we're going to do to the south is going to be 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to have this. I'm going to zoom out real quick and show the total outline because it's going to be a 17 by 17 square. And I'll put an edge all the way around so we can see that. And then we're going to go ahead and start putting our beds together that we've collected from 2 villages, and also the ones that we're creating from our sheep and from, hopefully you're lucky and have some little trading areas like that. So I'll go ahead and put that outline in. All right, you can kind of see our outline here. This is a smaller square. This is a larger one, and these are kind of a rectangle in the corners. And when I build the platform above, you'll see there is a difference. But for right now, let's grab some of our dirt or grass, and we're going to put in a 5 by 5 platform right here in the center. So we're going to go out 3 in that direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 5 by 5. And we're going to go up one more time because this is going to help put our beds all in one central location. We'll put one right here so we don't place things where we don't want them. All right, so as we're working, I'm going to use 2 different colored beds to show you the kind of the orientation. We're going to place 4 beds all the way on the top. Once we've done that, you can come underneath and break the dirt just like this so that ultimately we're going to place 12 of these blue beds all the way around just like this. Okay. Since we've done that, we can break some of these. We've used these. Say that these green ones became the blue ones. And then what we can do is break these little platforms right here, and we can put in purple ones. We're looking to get 20 overall. We're going to put those in. Come over to this side, break those, and then underneath as well. Do that. This is going to let our villagers get to their bed so that they can sleep during the night, and they'll congregate this way. They won't get upset that they can't get to them. They're always going to be able to get to them. We're going to take one of them away. We'll take this one away. That way iron golems don't spawn, especially if we've met the requirements of 10 villagers and 8 of them have worked. So that's just over 75%. Now we're going to take all the workstations that we've gotten. We're going to place them around. We're going to start at these points here, kind of in each quadrant. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to pick 2 sides. Pick the east and west side, so east and west. And we're just going to put those over here. This will give us a total of 6 on the east and west sides. I'm going to break all these stations so that they start going to the new ones. But then we can come to the north and the south ones, and we're going to go out 1, 2, 3, and then get out of the way. 1, 2, 3, just like that. So we've got 7 on the north and then 7 on the south as well. So that'll give us a total of 20 workstations. That way you can build your trading hall a little later, and you can customize it exactly the way you want. Our villagers aren't going to stay in the same spots. We're going to want to try to get them inside of our future trading hall. So now we just had to build things up. You're going to need to get a shovel, get some dirt, or if you want to make it look nicer, you can find other things to use as well. But let's just go ahead and put 2 up on each side, just like that. And while you're building up these, you can see how sheep can get over it. Villagers can too. We're going to go ahead and put an upper slab just like this, all the way around to in between each of our workstations. So go ahead and make this 2 high and leave some openings, because when the sun starts to set, all of these villagers are going to want to try to make it to their beds, and they'll all start making their way back in. So leave some openings, and then once they're all in their beds, then we can close it all the way up. All right, the sun is setting. Let's go ahead and close everything up. really quick, and then we can jump into bed ourselves. That way it can become morning. And that way we've trapped all the villagers we can in this farm. And if another one somehow pops up, then we'll try to invite them back in. But we'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we've only got 7 this time. I think maybe some of them got away, but that just happens. So we're going to have to breed them up. I'm going to use some eggs to help speed this tutorial along. But right now, we've got a good start. All right, before we move any further, grab a couple torches off the buildings nearby and throw them down in here. You can change up the locations that you want. We're going to be putting a platform in, and that's going to keep these things from getting light. We're not going to have a whole lot of light under here once we put the platform in, so torches are important. Keeps the baddies away. We're going to go ahead and put some stalls in. We're going to use these a little bit later, so grab some more dirt or whatever you want to use to help decorate this. And you're just going to put them on both sides of these workstations all the way around, maybe in the corner too. But now we're going to grab our slabs and just come across the top of these spots as well. We don't want that to spawn anything. Come all the way across the inside, just a little small spot right here. Go. And almost there. We'll finish this up on this side. All right, we're looking pretty good here. The next thing we're going to do, just come right in here in the middle, jump on up here, and we're going to go, this block is about half a block, but we're going to go up 3 more. 1, 2, 3. We're going to look to the north. We know that that's east because the sun is rising. We're going to go out 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we'll be even with that edge, and we'll put 1 up just like that. We're going to keep that block right there. Come over to the west side. We're going to do the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to bring it up as well because now we're even with the edge. Now on the east side, we're going to go at 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 will get us even here. But this time we're going to put 1 down and bring 1 up, and we can get rid of that one. So now we've got a little ledge or a overhang on that side. We're going to do the same thing to the south side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right even. Bump 1 out and get rid of that one. So that's going to have a little edge too. All right, because this is dirt and it's kind of hard to see, I'm going to put in some contrasting concrete here so you can see how I fill this in and you can see the differences in the layout. This is important because we're trying to make sure that the iron golem only spawns on this upper platform, nowhere else. So let's go ahead and grab some concrete. Before I do that, if you don't have enough villagers, now's a good time to take some of that loot you got from your previous village or this village, start feeding them. You need 12 carrots, potato, or beetroot for 2 of them, so 24 total, and then they'll create a new baby. If you've got some bread, you only need 3 for each of them, so 6 total. So that's why those hay bales are pretty nice. But anyways, you want to get up to 10 so that we can get this farm going. All right, we got some contrasting colors here. I'll go up top. You can see that the green one's bigger than the yellow one just by 1 extra layer. So this is an 8x8. This is a 9x8. This is an 8x9. And this is a 9x9. So there is a difference here. You can see that this block is overhanging. So we're going to bring it all the way to the edge. Put 1 right on the corner. Pop back out. Overhang on the south side all the way across until you get to the edge here. Then we're going to line it up with this block and come all the way across. Go ahead and put a block in right there. You can come back over to this side and you can see that we got the overhang all the way to here. But we want to line it up with that block. So we can come all the way across. Or get too far, throw another one in the corner. And we're going to go all the way across on top of it here on the north side, and then the west side's on top of it as well. Toss 1 right here in the corner. Before we leave the top, let's go ahead and grab our slabs that you have. You can get these slabs from any of these trees out here. They can be wood. And don't put them on the corner blocks. These are going to help prevent any iron golems from spawning on those locations. All the way around, just like that. Probably been listening to some cats. We're going to get rid of those in a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and take right here in the center. You can go ahead and throw your campfire in. This campfire is going to take care of our cats once they fall in the water. But then we're also going to take our wood sign and put it right over top of this fire. Signs don't catch on fire. It was great for us. It doesn't make sense, but we're fine. Go ahead and put it on top. You can see the outline there. We're going to come out on the side. You're going to block up probably twice. And then you're going to find the one that's further away and get on top of that. The goal here is to get a block of lava right here. So now we can jump back down, and we're just going to come all the way around the outside of it. We don't want to place anything on that block because when we break it, the sign will disappear. So now we've totally outlined this thing. We can break that block and grab our lava that we had from earlier, and we can just pick one of the sides and toss it in there. Don't feel more comfortable, you can jump up here and then look down at it. But the lava's going to stay right here. This lava is going to take care of our iron golems. So we're looking really good so far. Since our lava is now out of the bucket, we can use our bucket to get some water. So grab some water, and then we're going to come to one of the corners. We're going to skip this block. Don't put any water right there. And that goes for every corner just like that. So this one and this one. Go back down, grab your water, and put it 2 blocks away. You now have an infinite water source right here. 1, 2, 3 blocks right next to each other. So you can grab it, throw it, grab it, throw it, grab, throw it. Just like this, all the way across. Once you get to the end, you want to skip that block. Don't put anything there. Skip that one, all the way across. We're going to do this for all the sides. Skip, skip, all the way across. Skip, skip, all the way across. Now, if you fill that in, you might have to redo some of the water because it will start combining. But you can see that we got some water sources that aren't really going anywhere. And also we got a dead spot. So what we want to do is just put one on top of these blocks right here. And our top platform is all set. All right. So we've got this nice big gap here. And what I found is if we keep this gap here, then golems can spawn on them. And so I like to, you probably could put in some slabs here to prevent that, but you know, things happen, monsters get in somehow. We're going to block this whole thing up. So grab your dirt or whatever decorative thing you want to put on, and we're going to fill this in all the way around until it matches up with the bottom of our platform. All right, we got our big box. Somehow this guy got outside and trapped. Maybe we were not looking at it the whole time. Let's see if we can let this thing in here. Go on in. All the way in. And you stay out. There we go. Everyone's inside. Perfect. Now, what we can do here is we're going to go outside real quick because we got to grab our trapdoors. We're going to protect against any drowns that have tridents. And we're just going to put this trapdoor on the outside. This actually gives you access inside and outside now for your trading hall. So if you don't feel like walking inside all the time to get to them, you can just go up to one of these locations and talk to your villager and do your trading. But what we can do is go all the way around. Just like, all right, keep those trapdoors handy because once these villagers start working, we're going to go ahead and put a trapdoor in right behind them. Might have to nudge them a little bit, put them up. Actually can't get out once they're down. We're going to put them up just because it looks a little nicer. You're going to try to get them all in there. And some of them might get angry, but that's okay. But we know that those are their workstations. And for our trading hall, that's what we're going to want to do. So right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to grab an egg and I'm going to drop 2 more in. And then I'm going to drop the bed in and we're going to start seeing our golem show up. Usually it takes about 35 seconds after everyone's had a chance to work for an iron golem to show up. And we could have some cats show up too. If you want, you can try to track them all down and get rid of them. But here is our iron golem. Our iron golem farm is now operational. We have the minimum amount of villagers and the minimum amount of beds to make that work. They've all worked at their composter stations for this farm, but of course you can change them out pretty easily. And we'll talk about that in a future video. But you can see we're already starting to collect. This is a good example. So if you're just starting the world, you don't have any iron then we're not going to have any hoppers. And this iron's just going to collect on top of this campfire. It'll all just kind of float down. It's pretty easy to get once we come in here. You don't want to have a regular door. Save up for an iron door, which is what you can do now. You can jump up on top of these beds, and then you can just listen for it. Oh, that was hard to hear. But we collected everything that was on top of this campfire. So the next thing we can do is just keep collecting our iron. And what we can do is we're going to put in a collection system now. Over time, we'll get enough for hoppers. You can see the orange one was the very center. We can look up here, find our campfire, build this out a little bit. And let's grab a chest and some hoppers. You can see the iron golems just keep coming. Put our chest down. You can expand this however you want. Got plenty of room to grow downstairs. Put in your hopper, one hopper right there. And you can jump back up top. All the way up top. Now anything that lands in that campfire, we heard that iron golem, it will now transfer all the way down into our chest. So now we're collecting everything that we got. And we didn't have to go out and mine any iron for this farm. So yeah, this thing is operational. We're looking great. There's one last thing we want to do, and that is to make sure our villagers don't try to attach themselves to a different bed somewhere else. So if you place a bed out there because you want to sleep, then that's going to be a problem. So what we can do is we're going to break out under here. We're going to break out underneath there, and we can do the same thing over here so that while they're in the water, they won't disconnect from these beds, but they will still work at these stations. So we're going to do that for every single one of these. All right, we've got 10 villagers in here, and if we had 20, we could get a rate of about 350, which is pretty typical for all of the iron farms that are out there. And you can see that this is set up for 20. It is also set up for a trading hall so that we can get discounts later on, and that'll be a different episode. This one just got a little too long, so you can check that out in at another time. But yeah, this thing is working. You can take these villagers out. You can let them come out. You can breed them up so you can get to 20. But you can put an iron door in so nothing can get in and only you can get out. But again, yeah, this thing is operational. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me on the Bedrock Guide. I hope you like this tutorial. It was definitely fun to learn more about iron golems. But yeah, if you liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. Definitely helps the channel. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.